Disney CEO Bob Iger has all but admitted that the movies that's been coming out of the MCU over the last few years are not very good. He's basically been saying numerous times that they need to focus on the quality of the content, not necessarily the quantity of the content, which they've been doing. But despite him saying this multiple times, so far nothing is actually metastasized throughout all this, because they basically have the exact same release schedule that they've had before, where they're putting out several movies and several different shows each year, minus 2024, of course, though, because of the strikes that went on last year caused a delay in their release schedule. So make no mistake, it's not like the reduced output in 2024 is a result of Disney making creative decisions. It's literally just they have nothing to release this year. However, for the first time, it looks like we have some real tangible information that suggests that Disney is indeed actually trying to reduce the amount of output from Marvel. This is coming from CEO Bob Iger. In the midst of something of a strike-induced box office drought and after a challenging year for Disney's film slate, the executive said Tuesday that we're doing a lot to turn around Disney's feature film business, which hit on hard times that needed addressing. And a lot of this pressure being put on Bob Iger is a direct result of the disastrous 2023 box office. And I'm not talking about just Marvel movies. I'm talking about pretty much every major Disney studio was failing at the box office. But Marvel movies do stand out in that they cost so much to produce. So when one flops, it loses a lot of money for the studio. But also Marvel movies used to hit it out of the park with everything that was released theatrically. But now in recent years, the quality has been so noticeably diminished that once loyal fans for the MCU are now basically just using it as a punching bag. And I think this move from Bob Iger is also exacerbated by Nelson Peltz and his Trian Group trying to take board seats away from Bob Iger's loyalists. And I think Bob Iger is more or less making this move to try to reassure shareholders that we understand that there's a problem. We're going to fix it. Please don't take away my board members, replace them with Nelson Peltz board members. I can fix this problem. Whether the shareholders actually believe him remains to be seen, but let's continue. You have to kill things you no longer believe in, and that's not easy in this business because either you've gotten started, you have some sunk cost, or it's a relationship with either your employees or with the creative community, Iger said. This is the first time that Bob Iger has actually made any definitive statements that they've gotten rid of some stuff for Marvel that they've previously greenlit. In the past, I've actually been critical when he says that they're going to reduce the amount of output for Marvel properties because I looked at the release schedule and it seems pretty crowded. So if he's saying that they're trying to reduce the output, I'm just not seeing it. Well, he's saying right here that, yeah, they actually have greenlit some stuff, but they're not going to continue with it because they don't have confidence that it'll actually be successful. It's not an easy thing, but you've got to make those tough calls. We've actually made those tough calls. We've not been that public about it, but we've killed a few projects already that we just didn't feel were strong enough. And seeing the kind of stuff that they actually have released, I'm just kind of left wondering what was so bad that they felt that they couldn't even release it theatrically. Because, I mean, you're saying that the Marvels was good enough to release theatrically, but whatever they canceled, no, that was too bad that they couldn't release it. I'm just wondering how bad could they have actually been? Or maybe this is a new approach for them because in the past that they thought like, well, this wasn't good, but we'll just release it anyway because it's a Marvel property and it'll make money. But since we saw the Marvels just completely flop at the box office, maybe they're trying to shift focus and not necessarily just release something that they don't have faith in because audiences aren't just going to automatically watch their movies anymore. Bob Iger has essentially acknowledged just as much right here. A lot of people think it's audience fatigue. It's not audience fatigue. They want great films. And if you build it great, they will come. And there are countless examples of that. Some are ours, some are others. Oppenheimer is a perfect example of that. Just a fantastic film, Iger said. And that's something that a lot of people have actually been saying when the media tries to say it's superhero fatigue and that people are just tired of watching superhero movies. That's not the case. I've said that many times. Other people have said it many times. Maybe there is a superhero fatigue in that people used to just habitually go and watch anything Marvel related at the theaters. But now people have kind of gotten to expect a little bit more from them. So if it's not of a quality movie, then people are just going to pass it up. So Disney is finally catching up with that, or at least if Bob Iger is sincere about this, then they're acknowledging like, okay, fine, we're going to put out good movies now, or at least that's what he's claiming right here because he understands what they've been doing in the past where they can just crap out anything Marvel related and expect people to watch it. That's not the case right now. Focus is really important. We reduce the output of Marvel, both number of films they make and number of TV shows, and that really becomes critical. But I feel good about the team. I feel good about the IP we're making. And with the news that they have canceled a couple projects, a lot of fans are left wondering what exactly have they canceled, because you can look at their upcoming announced slate of Marvel movies. Some of them we got confirmation that they're kind of in the process, so it's doubtful that they're going to cancel them. Let's see, Fantastic Four. Yes, it's doubtful that they're going to cancel that because they just announced the cast and released information, so it's probably not likely they're going to cancel that. X-Men 97, yeah, obviously we got a trailer for that. So you just look at this, it's most likely some of the things down here that haven't actually had release dates attached to them. But some people are thinking other movies might have actually been canceled that they have more information on. Blade, for instance, that's coming out late next year. And some people think that might be one of the movies on the chopping block here. We got this article from Game Rant where a lot of people are just kind of speculating like what the potential movies are that have been axed by Disney and Marvel. Now, take it with a huge pinch of salt, because this is just people from like social media sites and Reddit and things like that kind of speculating which movies they think got axed. We don't have like an insider giving us a scoop on anything like that. So you can just understand that while reading this. But here, take a look at what people are saying and why they think certain movies are the ones that got canceled. One of the movies that people are really speculating could be canceled is Armor Wars, because that was one of the ones later on that they haven't actually given us a release date. So maybe they will have gotten rid of it. Who knows? Other people are thinking that they might be trying to roll it into Ironheart and have what's left of the movie script for Armor Wars be kind of incorporated into that show. Last I heard, Ironheart was delayed and we haven't been given a release date for it, but they haven't canceled it outright. So it's possible, if Ironheart's still a thing, that they could kind of incorporate Armor Wars into that. Other people are pointing out the Blade reboot might be one of the things that they're getting rid of. I have my doubts about that because they are a little bit further along in the production process of it. And yes, they probably could get rid of it. The reason people are speculating that they're going to get rid of it is because it's gone through a bunch of different scripts and they've changed up the story so many times on it, because what's been revealed about the upcoming Blade reboot has not been very good. And I can see them getting rid of that. But one reason I think they're going to keep it is because they're reportedly only spending $80 million on it, which obviously is a lot of money. But when you compare it to pretty much anything else Marvel related, that is the cheapest movie in the MCU. And I'm talking about cheaper than anything that they've actually produced so far. Even Iron Man back in 2008 and Hulk back in 2008, those cost more to make it than Blade reboot. And that's not even adjusting for inflation. So I think what Marvel and Disney are trying to do with Blade is almost use it as an experiment to see if they can actually turn a profit on a movie if they make it at a cheap level like that. Because even if the movie isn't good, there's still enough name recognition for Marvel properties that they can probably make a profit even if it's not good, because they spent so little on it. So I think Blade is going to be kind of their test case for that one. Other projects that people are talking about, it's similar to Armor Wars, like Vision Quest, Wiccan, where they're saying that they're not maybe canceling them outright, but just kind of rolling them into the Young Avengers, because Young Avengers is something that they've talked about that they're going to be doing, and they've been kind of setting it up in the last phase of the MCU. But also the last phase of the MCU is the stuff that people really don't like about Marvel. So maybe Young Avengers is going to be one of those things that's canceled too. We don't know. We haven't gotten a whole lot of information other than them basically just setting up that that's what they're going to be doing. So we'll just have to wait and see on all this. Maybe what they're canceling isn't even something that they've announced. Maybe it's just something that's been kind of internal where they've talked about it. They maybe been working behind the scenes, because they don't just get an idea and announce it, despite what a lot of people might think that they do. They do try to develop it to somewhat of an extent before they feel comfortable enough announcing it to the public. So maybe it's one of these very early stages that they've canceled something. We don't know, but let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. What movies or projects do you think that they have canceled, if it's something that they've actually announced, or do you think it's just one of those early stages? Because I'm curious what other people have to say about this. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with the latest in entertainment news. And also, if you can, make sure you click the like button and share the video, because it really helps out with the channel. Thank you.